Hey everyone, Dr. Zio here again, and today the time has come to review what is going to be the final episode of Power Rangers for the foreseeable future. Let's talk about Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, Episode 10, the grand finale, and aptly named, The End. As always, we'll start off with our summary, likes, dislikes, and we'll finish off with one last conclusion. Let's hop right into it. So this episode opens up with Ion in some sort of void-ish world. It's all a white world, and he sees Zato, or someone who appears to be Zato there, and he's talking with him. And the guy or the person is familiar with the Morphan grid. He's connected to the Morphan grid, but he doesn't exactly seem to know who Lord Zed is or the Rangers. He's familiar with the terms, but it seems like he's not all there. Meanwhile, back in the human realm, Scyther and Mucus are defending the Rangers. They end up stealing a squid drill, and they come in blasting Bajilia's forces, forcing them all to scatter and retreat. At that point, the Rangers teleport away with a master captivator and get back to the ship. Scyther and Mucus use the squid drill to clear the Rangers a path because Bajilia summoned all of her available squid drills that the Rangers wouldn't be able to leave the planet. Fortunately enough, Scyther and Mucus are able to clear a path for the Rangers to get out of there and get back into orbit. At this point, a monumentous thing happens. Billy pops up with the cavalry. He pops up with the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dinozord, the In-Space Astro Megazord, the Lost Galaxy Megazord, the Ninja Steel Blaze Megazord, as well as the Beast Morphers Grid Battle Force Beast X Megazord. All of these Megazords charge into battle, destroying squid drill after squid drill. In a pretty good sequence. I'll be lenient about the CGI because I'm just happy that they're all there, and the Rangers are too. They're all ecstatic and they're all happy that Billy's arrived with the cavalry. In the meantime though, the squid drill that Scyther and Mucus were in gets destroyed, but not before they can teleport out to safety. Well, at least to the vacuum of space, as safe as that can be in the Power Rangers universe. And this all ends with the Rangers back in the spaceship, and they're looking at the Master Captivator. There's a crack in it from the earlier commotion, and that crack seems to be growing. At this point, they teleport away. They figure, okay, we need to do something about the Master Captivator because that Z-Wave, or the bad Z-Wave, is going to destroy all good all across the universe. There's really no place where we can hide this away, so the only thing we can do is bring it into the Morphin grid itself. So the Rangers go back to Zordnia, and they go back to the Ultra Zordnia with the plan to use Master Red's staff to open up a portal back into the Morphin grid and throw the Master Captivator into it. Now, the downside to this plan is that the potential Z-Wave exploding there in the Morphin grid could sever every Ranger's connection to the Morphin grid. So while it's a risky plan, it's a plan that any Ranger would make to save the greater good. Oh, I also forgot to mention that that being in the Void world sent Ion back to the human realm, and then they went over to the Ultra Zordnia. Now, back in the Ultra Zordnia, Javi elects to be the one to use the staff and open up the portal, but Izzy's like, no. We're doing this together. And all of them elect to do this together as one unit because they figure this is all meant to be done together. It's not a burden for just one person. Maybe that's why Javi got his arm, lopped off. But, however, Bajilia stole away on the ship, and now she's here. She knows that she just needs to get off one blast from her blaster to be able to shatter the Master Captivator and unleash this negative Z-Wave. However, the Rangers morph just in time, and so starts our final fight, which lasts all of a few seconds. Bajilia dodges a few attacks, teleports away. By the way, I haven't mentioned it thus far, but the teleport effect for the villains this season looks great. Looks fantastic. They kind of disappear into some dark particles. I love it. But anyway, she teleports away, and then she tries to take another shot, but the Rangers activate, or they form the Cosmic Fury Blaster, and they start blasting at Bajilia. Fortunately, they blow up Bajilia, but not before her blaster drops onto the ground and lets off one rogue shot, thereby putting one final devastating crack in the Master Captivator. Before the Rangers can jam Master Red's scepter into the Ultra Zordnia, Zato appears as a Morphin Master himself. He takes all their energy and puts it into the Master Captivator, where they come face to face with Lord Zed. However, no one can really use their attacks because I guess energy can't be made, just destroyed or created in this little inside the Master Captivator. It's a really weird situation. Time moves slower here, but basically they're able to convince Lord Zed to give up the power of the Morphin Masters so that he's able to survive and live to see another day. And this also solves the problem of, what do we do with all this energy? So he does all this. After that, the Rangers kind of passed out on the ground. Lord Zed's giant. He's about to squish the Rangers when none other than Rita Repulsa herself starts berating him, wanting him to fill up her drink. She's kind of sitting by. She's having a beach day, basically. Has cucumbers on her eyes, and she's just chilling out. She's not voiced by Barbara Goodson, but I guess what could we expect? They weren't going to show off for Barbara Goodson again. But Zato says that that's Lord Zed's nightmare. Turns out he brought them all to Nibiru. And Zato seems to be pretty confident, or he believes that anyone, even Lord Zed, has the capacity to change and become a better person. And that's a pretty good message to show for these last 2 episodes. We saw Mucus and Scyther had eventually become better people. So it makes sense that Lord Zed also has the capacity to change and become a better person. Although, maybe not, because that the Lord Zed that they have in front of them is purely evil. I don't know. Maybe this is stretching things a bit, but basically that's how things end. And on the flip side, Zato says goodbye to the Rangers in the ship with the Morphin Masters now freed. They all say their goodbyes. Zato says he doesn't know how he became a Morphin Master, and Ion says that being in that void world, he knew Zato was in the grid, so it makes sense that being threw them a bone, basically, and made Zato a Morphin Master somehow. Basically, Zato is now a full-fledged Morphin Master. He says goodbye to his teammates. He goes with the Morphin Masters into the grid, and then the Rangers go off and have their fun. And then we flash forward to Javi, singing a new version of Spotlight or May the Power Protect You. They didn't really name the song, but it does seem like a remix of Spotlight, kind of. But he's basically singing this song while everyone else, who had returned except for, Izzy and Javi's cousin, they're all there having their fun. Tarek is also not there because Santura gave birth to their baby daughter, who they've aptly named Poppy after Pop Pop. And that was cute. And Ion says that, or he tells Billy and Mick that May the Power Protect You was told to him by a being within that void. And Billy's like, that had to been Zordon. If that was Zordon, that means that he's still out there. It looks like he's a ghost. And Amelia perks up with this. She's like, ghost? If there's a ghost somewhere around here, I would drop everything to go hunt that ghost down. And again, that's a nice little callback to the beginning of Power Rangers Dino Fury. Our ghost hunter Amelia is going to be a ghost hunter through and through. And basically, it ends with Javi singing this new song and everyone just kind of partying around him. And Zato looking on at his friends, having a good time from the Morphin Grid. And that's that. But let's go ahead and talk about my likes for the episode. Javi getting to play what I assumed to be his demo song was good. It showed that he was able to get enough practice in to really nail being able to play that song on his guitar, even with that robot arm. So props to you, dude. It's always nice hearing Chance Perez singing in the show, and I'm glad that before this is all over, he got to sing one last song for the show. I also strongly approve of Zato becoming a Morphin Master. It seemed like the logical conclusion to his story within Cosmic Fury, so I'm glad that they actually went there, rather than reviving him as a full-on human being. It makes that sacrifice at the end of Dino Fury so much better, because we know that he's not being revived to rejoin the Rangers, but he's being made into a Morphin Master. There's a purpose to it all. Also, a surprise appearance from Zordon. Again, none of us expected Zordon to make an appearance in this way. Zordon's appearance in this was played by Russell Curry, Zato's actor. He just had blue contact lenses or something like that, and a white outfit, which looked okay. But it's really interesting because everyone expected Zordon to be revived in in Cosmic Fury, or to make an appearance in Cosmic Fury, but I don't think anyone would have been able to call exactly how he made his appearance. And I'm glad that they didn't bring back Zordon and didn't revive him. They still kind of left things as a mystery as to where exactly he is and how he might be revived should Power Rangers come back and explore this plot line in the future. And though the CGI in the returning Megazords wasn't good, it was still nice seeing them. Seeing the Rangers all super happy at the classic Megazords. Again, it carries on something we saw in Dino Fury's Season 1 when the Rangers got introduced to their Ranger powers. And they got also very, very excited that now there's that prospect of being able to see and command actual Megazords. So for them to see classic Megazords, I was excited right there with them. Also, Mucus and Slider clearing a path for the Rangers to leave Eltar's orbit was great. As I said before, everyone has the capacity to change, and this just further solidifies that Mucus and Slider are now fighting for the side of good. Also, they survived. They were over here manning the lights during Javi's concert, so props to them. When they seemingly died, I kind of got choked up because I love those two characters. So to see that they survived through thick and thin, through all of this that's gone on, and it seems like they might be working with the Rangers in some capacity, at least got some sort of job. I mean, it just makes me happy. I'm happy that they're here still. The practical explosions in this episode were also good. You know, the explosion that happened when Bajillia was dodging the Rangers' blast, and then when the Rangers were shooting the Cosmic Fury blaster, they were good. Although, again, Bajillia exploding didn't look all that good in general. She exploded mid-air, so I guess I can excuse that. But still, as I mentioned before in my review for episode 9, I just wish that the practical explosions, when the monsters explode themselves, was just a little bit better. Harken back to the old Power Rangers days of the monster falling over and just exploding in a haze of glory. That made one hell of an impression. And at least to not do that all season and do that here, that would have made a very lasting impression. But unfortunately, it didn't happen here. I also liked the way they dealt with Lord Zed. As seems to be tradition, for the final seasons, or what are looked at as the final seasons of Power Rangers, at least at that time, with Power Rangers in Space, RPM, and now Cosmic Fury, each of these 3 seasons has dealt with the final big bad, or big bads plural, in a unique way that's not just a straight up battle where they blast them a few times or slash them and they blow up, but a unique way that serves a nice end cap to Power Rangers at that time. We had the Z-Wave in Space, the Tower falling on Venjix in RPM, and now we have Lord Zed being trapped on Nibiru to hopefully find the error of his ways and become a good guy eventually if we ever pick up this plot thread here in Cosmic Fury or in a future season. Also, Zato saying cool, cool, coolio one last time as he looks at his friends playing in that concert. That was good. That made me happy because I love that line. It's just one of the funniest lines in Power Rangers, period. Just absolutely love it. Now that said, let's go ahead and talk about my dislikes for the episode. First things first, we had all of these people coming back from Dino Fury to Cosmic Fury, and yet Aurea didn't make a comeback. Neither did Santura. There was a photoshopped picture of Tarek and Santura with the baby? I'm not sure what was going on with that picture, but Santura not making an in-person appearance just made me scratch my head. Again, as I mentioned before, it would have been a nice chance for redemption for Santura. You know, she could have apologized to Zato, head on, face to face. But beyond that, it just would have been nice to see Santura taking part in the war effort, or at least getting an update on Santura from herself. But whatever. But Aurea, more specifically, for the Ravkonians to have a whole resistance force led by Tarek, with Aurea not even so much as getting a mention, just struck me as super weird. Like, Aurea is the first bona fide Ravkonian we see beyond Zato, Amelia, and Ion at the end of Dino Fury Season 2. So for her to not be there on the front lines in some capacity, helping the humans and helping the fellow Ravkonians get out from under Lord Zed's thumb, just struck me as really weird. Like, I would love to know the behind-the-scenes reasoning for why Aurea didn't return for this. Also, while I enjoyed maybe a few seconds of that final fight with Bajillia, I didn't like how she got taken out by the Cosmic Fury Blaster. I understand within the story, it makes sense that the Rangers didn't want to fight her head on because that would open them up to, like, that would open things up to her teleporting behind them and destroying destroying the Master Captivator. But it's still really bizarre that we end Cosmic Fury without a big climactic battle between the Rangers and Lord Zed, the Rangers and Master Zed, or the Rangers and Vigilia. It just feels really, really bizarre. Also, this is just a nitpick, but I really do believe that scene within the Master Captivator should have been helmetless. Like, Zato didn't have a helmet on because he's in his Morphan Master outfit, but everyone else should have been helmetless in that scene. We should have been able to see all 7 Rangers together in person for the first and only time. Like, it would have been nice. Well, I guess second time they were together during the siege on Eltar, but it would have been nice to see them all together in their respective suits, and then Zato in his Morphin Master outfit. But alas, that's not the way it was meant to be. My last dislike here is that, second to last dislike here, Min wasn't voiced. Min appeared behind Billy. I guess that was like a nice little nod to Once and Always, but it just felt weird to not have Charlie Kirsch record a line saying, "Hey Rangers," or just being excited that she's helping out other Rangers. It just, I don't know. Charlie Kirsch is very excited about being a Ranger on Instagram. She's constantly reposting art and things like that for Power Rangers, so it seems like she would have been more than willing to record a little bit of ADR in the booth. Like, I'm not asking you to have her make a physical appearance. Just a few lines from her would have been great. But what's not a nitpick, though, is the fact that we go through all of Cosmic Fury without being told what actually happened with the Morphin Masters. How we went from 3 Morphin Masters at the end of last season to all 6 Morphin Masters being alive yet again. Like, that's a plot hole that just really, really bothers me. Also, not a dislike, but Scrozzle escaped. Like, props to you, Slither. You're out there somewhere living your best life, and I'm proud of you. Again, you're a Weasley little dude. You're probably out there partying with Octoroom, who also escaped the end of Super Samurai. Oh Lord, I hope that someday we finish those 2 off in the far future. But let's go ahead and jump right into our conclusion. Power Rangers Cosmic Fury was an ambitious final entry in the current Power Rangers universe. The production team swung for the fences and hit their mark most of the time. The fights were entertaining, the story was great, and the cherry-picked Zord fights kept me more engaged than I've been in years with Zord fights. Even the Rangers' acting seems to have been improved between the end of Dino Fury Season 2 and their time filming for Cosmic Fury. This season shows a glimpse of what's possible for Power Rangers with relaxed mandates and without Sentai footage to hold back the creative freedom of the production crew. The season starts at a 10 and rarely lets up before the final moments. Though the budgetary restrictions certainly seem to have had an effect on the show's CGI at times, and the practical explosions could have been used more effectively, Cosmic Fury ends up being an enjoyable ride from start to finish. And that's really all I have to say for now. Maybe we'll do another season-long review at some point in the future, but for now, that's all I have to say on an episode-by-episode basis. I do have some videos that will probably be posted by the time this video comes out. If not, I do have some more Cosmic Fury videos coming out here within the next month that just talking about different things about Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, so look forward to that. But otherwise, again, I'm Dr. Zio. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey throughout this year. The last year while we covered Cosmic Fury news, these last 3 years while we've covered this cast, this phenomenal cast, who I wish the best of luck getting future opportunities with whatever your future holds for you. Honestly, I love this cast so much, and I would 100% be down for them to return in any capacity in the future. But thank you, everyone who's joined me on this ride from Power Rangers Dino Fury to Cosmic Fury now. Thank you so much. I've done all these reviews for you. Just your happiness keeps me going because Lord have mercy knows that this is a lot of work. But thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I do appreciate it. And as always, you can share the audio, share the video. It does help me. It helps with the various algorithms around the net. But that's all I really have to say for now. Thank you for watching. I'm Dr. Zio, here to say, may the power protect you. Ciao.